Hey, all right, let's talk about leash manners. So, two things about what I've been working on with Bellamy on leash. One is stopping the pull and the zigzag that she does. The second is to get her to tone down around other dogs when they pass by or if they're standing nearby. So both of those can be accomplished by achieving a calmer brain. So how do we achieve a calmer brain? This is how I do it. I don't do a formal heel like a lot of trainers do, where the dog must be in a really tight area near your leg. I don't do it unless somebody wants to, because it's a lot of work for the humans. It requires a great deal of attention, a great deal of enforcement. So what I do as an alternative is a looser here command. And what I mean by here is that I want the dog to come be in my bubble. And when they're in my bubble, what that means for me is that the leash is going to be shorter. So I'm always going to zoom up on the leash. And in this case, in the case of Bellamy, the leash is, for me, at my height, maybe a foot, just over a foot, loose, not tight, but short. So when she is in a short lead, she is in my zone, which means that she is in more of a pack drive instead of a prey drive, which means her brain's a little bit more connected to me. Also, with the shorter leash, I have more control. So it gives me a little bit more control, but most importantly, it brings her together with me. So there are two exercises that I do to help her start to develop and appreciate what the here cue means. What I'm hoping is that you'll take her on a walk every day, and before you leave for that walk, you'll spend about 5 minutes doing both of these exercises, 5 minutes combined for the two of them. One is sudden direction changes, where I'm gonna have her on the long line, loose and out there. And as she starts walking away, I do a quick turn, either 180 degrees or a hard right or a hard left, it doesn't matter, but a sudden direction change. And the minute I change and she feels that pop on the leash, I'm gonna say here. So every time she hears the word here, she's gonna feel the pop, and I am gonna march off in whatever direction I went. I am not gonna turn and look at her. I'm not gonna pull her along. I'm just pop, hold tight, march away. I want her to see my back when she hears the cue. Because if she sees my back moving away, that helps to trigger pack drive. So we do this for just a few minutes. Let me show you what that looks like. Now, when I'm doing the exercise, you're not gonna see me choke up on the leash, because I'm doing this back and forth exercise. So choking up on the leash doesn't really, we don't really have a minute to do that. When we start the real walk, that's when we'll do that. Okay, here we go, good girl. Here. Yes, good girl. Here. 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 Good girl. Here. Good girl. Good. Here. Good. Here. Good girl, good. So you do that a few times here and there. You can go up and down the street or whatever you want to do, it doesn't matter. But when you're doing that, you're priming her, you're getting her brain ready and acclimated to that cue. The second exercise is what we call box work. And the box part of it is that you imagine yourself being inside of a box. Now, in my case, because my driveway has sort of a grid pattern, there are these big boxes lined, so I can actually have a box outline. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna go inside that box, and I'm gonna put her on a short lead, and I'm gonna walk a circle within the box. And I'm just going to say, every time I hit a corner, I'm gonna say the word here, okay? Now, what you're gonna notice is that she'll be on my left or my right at different times. She's gonna be on the inside of me at one point so that I'm stepping into her. And then at another time, she'll be on the outside of me so that I'm pulling her around. So she's gonna be inside of me on the circle and outside of me. You'll see those both. Here's the other thing I want you to notice. She's gonna be on my short leash. For the sake of giving her consistent signal, I am planting my hand to my hip. So my arm's not out here flailing, I'm not trying to steer or drive her. No matter what happens, my hand stays on my hip, so she gets completely consistent tugs on the leash. So here we go. First, let me show you where the box is. Right along this line where I'm walking. You don't need to see the whole thing exactly because you'll get the point. But here's this big box. Now, I'm on the inside of it. I'm going to start her on the outside of it, on the outside of me. Hand on hip, short leash. When I'm standing still, it's loose. It's dangling. No matter what she does, I just keep on walking. Here. 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 Good. Here. 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 You can see she's getting the hang of it. Here. 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 She's doing great. Now, I'm going to turn and go the other way. Now she's going to be, oh, I beg your pardon. I'm going to turn and go the other way. Now she's going to be inside the circle. She's inside of me. Here. So when I step, I'm stepping into her. Here. 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 Good girl. So you see, when she's on the inside of me, she's getting the verbal cue here and also spatial pressure. When she's on the outside of the circle, she gets a here and she gets the leash pressure. So she's getting reinforced with two different types of pressure. So these are the two exercises. Even if you don't get to go on a walk, if you can do these two exercises, box work and direction change, for a few minutes every day, you are reinforcing the here. So the idea is that you're walking along, and if she's pulling you or zigzagging, you're just gonna, here, you're gonna bring her in close. And then later in the walk, you can let her back out. And then here, good, good, yeah, I see you. Nope, nope, good girl. So if you have a dog approaching, you're walking her along, and you see a dog coming at a distance, you don't wait for that dog to get up close to you. The minute you see something, you just casually reel her in here, and you put her on a short lead and say here, and as you're passing the dog, you keep moving. That's the key to getting rid of that reactive behavior. Short leash, clear cue of here, and then we don't stop and discuss the issue. You just plant that hand on your hip and you keep moving past the dog. She may flail the first few times, but the more that you don't look at her, you don't stop and turn. If you stop and address her when she's going crazy, you're just pouring gas on a flame. So you don't want to let her take you off your path. You want to stay on the path, put her in here, and keep it moving. All right? Okay, over and out.